Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, thank you. Oh, lively crowd this morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. Welcome to those of you joining us online. It wouldn't be complete without you, so thanks for making time for us today. Wouldn't be complete with all of you here in the beautiful Garden Center of Sarasota, so welcome, welcome. I'm Kathleen Frankert. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center, and I greet you wholeheartedly this morning with Namaste. Namaste is Sanskrit, and it means the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. And boy, I see a lot of divine right here, right now. At the Center for Spiritual Living International, our vision is a world that works for everyone, no one left out. And that's a very lofty goal, but we believe that it is certainly worthy of what we are meant to experience here, and we support that through all kinds of activities and services here and whatnot. You'll hear more about some of those things, but just welcome and know that you're part of something really big and really cool. And we're excited to have you here. Yes. So this month we have been looking at our global theme for the year, which is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. like a tree, right? It's rising higher, but it's also growing deeper. And during the month of January, we've broken that down into looking at stretching into possibility. So this morning, Reverend Theresa, our spiritual director and leader and guru and all those good things, she says, whatever. Call me anything, just not late for dinner, that's right. But Reverend Theresa is going to be looking at a topic within that, and the title of her talk this morning, her lesson this morning, is It Flows. So we look forward to hearing more about that. Joining us also this morning is our musical inspiration, and all around the town talent in Sarasota is Matthew Frost. Welcome back, Matthew. Nice to have you back, Matthew. So with that, with the table set and the main course about to be served, I just invite you now to settle in. Let's just take this moment to be fully now here, letting go of any busyness that came before and anything that might have to occur later, and just be here now. This is where life is happening. And I invite you to, even as you're thinking about that, just take a breath and let that be a settling aspect of your being. Feel that divinity within you. And as you do that, I invite you to take as inspiration these words of our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. Today, I let good flow into my experience. I am seeking good in every direction I look. I am looking forward to more good. I am entering into a deeper understanding of life. I am recognizing my union with all people and all events. I carefully guide my thought and guard my thought. I refuse to permit anything antagonistic or unlovely to enter into my consciousness. Because I'm learning to live in joy and peace and calm confidence. I'm putting my whole trust, faith, and confidence in the good. I think with clarity, move with ease, and accomplish without strain. Letting go of all previous mistakes, I know that today I am free and unhindered. I feel the operation of divine love and universal law in my affairs. I know that everything I am doing is governed by love and controlled through law. I am conscious that I am one with all people in love, in essence, and in joy. I believe the law of good will bring every good and perfect thing to me and will bless everyone I contact. I know I shall experience the good, which I now affirm. And so it is. Welcome back, Matthew.
Morning, everybody. I have a song that is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm going to just start with it so I don't have to be nervous all day. And hopefully it goes good. This one, I was thinking of Diana out there, wherever you are, somewhere. Diana, where are you? Oh, right there in the front. When I was doubting myself, you popped into my head, and I'm just going to go for it. I've decided, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is a song off of the play Wicked, the movie Wicked, the play, whatever. It's a good movie, but the play's good too. So I'm going to try some musical theater stuff for you. But this is so in the theme today, I feel like, this song. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts and close my eyes and leave. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can pull me down. Through with expecting limits, 'cause someone said they're so. Some things I cannot change, but until I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner die defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity, and you can pull me down. You can pull me down. It's me, oh, it's me. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who'd ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high.
have such a crush on you. Is that wrong? Oh my God, I need a minute. Wow. Whew. Okay. Going with the flow, man. I have to tell a funny story, and that's when they asked me to be a reader today. I thought they gave you something to read. So that was the first issue. I kept waiting for it. And then I was like, Di, I don't really get it. And, and they were like, oh, you have to bring it to the table. Oh, okay. Then I got another text that said, but you just have from 3 to 5. And I thought, well, the good news is I only have to be a 3 of 5 to you guys. So I can do all that. So I only have to entertain you at a 3 level. And I feel like I feel good about that, So when it came to kind of looking at the flow of things and kind of finding something I could share with you, I tapped kind of 3 resources. I thought that really could bring it at a 3 level. And one is Danielle Laporte. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Have you ever heard of her? She's kind of this Canadian that is equal parts spirit, fluidity, and a tremendous swearer that missed into that, which I am like, anything that's, got some filthy or spicy language in it is so much easier for me. Again, 3 of 5. The second one I'm going to share is some tidbits that the Dalai Lama kind of mentioned about being in the flow, And the third is, ironically, is a conversation I overheard with 2 trees. So here goes. Again, 3 of 5, you guys. That's all you have to be. So Danielle Laporte, I've cleaned up version. She says, going with the flow isn't about being passive or laissez-faire. It's not about just letting things happen to you. It's not aimless wandering. Being in the flow is about responding to cues from the universe. I would say defining or defying gravity. You can burn your 5-year plan and replace it with deep listening, high intentions, and courage. Because when you go with the flow, you're actually surfing life's force. I love that so much. I would put swear words in it, but so I dare you to catch the wave. So that's Danielle. Nice, right? She knows how to bring it. Dalai Lama was kind of more bullet points, and kind of the architecture of going with the flow. And he says really that to go with the flow or be in flow is just accept the natural course of life. Embrace change. Don't resist the present moment. Observe your thoughts, your feelings without judgment. Allow them to pass like a river. Accept that everything is impermanent and just accept the detours. Practice flexibility. Adjust your changing circumstances without clinging or resisting, and allow the situation to just be. Now, it's kind of intimate, but should I talk to you about my tree conversation? Okay. I feel a little silly because it was private, but so this is 2 trees hanging out, and a storm's about to come. One tree says to the other, what do you think we should do? I'd like to make a run for it. And he says, let's go with the usual. Let's just, we can do this, and just remember every storm, runs out of rain. He goes, isn't that Maya Angelou's quote? And he goes, yeah, it is. He goes, Maya Angelou? No, she is epic, yeah. So the other tree says to the tree, I just want to tell you that on the last storm, I was really impressed with how bendy you are. You're very, just kind of were going with the winds. He goes, yeah. He goes, and back to you. You also were really impressive. And he goes, well, I don't want to brag, but I got some serious roots. You can't see them, but, I'm rooted, And he goes, so don't tell anyone, but we're all equipped with weathering what happens. I don't think everyone knows it always. The tree is that example. So let's not worry about it. Let's just do what we do, the usual, and not worry about the things we can't control. Is that a Maya Angelou quote, he asked? And the other said, no, it's a fortune cookie from Panda Express. So, anyway, am I supposed to introduce the next person from my number 3 of 5? Oh, Crush Man, bring it.
I'm gonna do a original one I wrote, and it's definitely probably my most new thought original I think I've ever written, and I never played it before. And I think it's perfect for the theme today. I kind of want to set Theresa up right, and I think that I'm gonna do this one. It's all my contemplations of the Tao Te Ching that I love to read, and just being outside and just things come to me, like I always say, and this came to me. It's called I Float Away. Check it out. And it's a little bit hard to follow. The lyrics aren't, but the chords, because they keep changing. That's the point of the song. They just keep changing, kind of throwing you off a little bit. Check it out.
golly. I always feel like I have so much of an experience before I even walk up here. Like it's just so much of an experience. Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you. And oh my God, honey, like we need to work on a stand-up show for you. That was fabulous. Just fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So, I guess I'm surprised to see anybody here this morning. And not really surprised that there's maybe almost half the number of people here that were here last week, right? And I kind of expected it. I don't always go and listen to my talks. In fact, I rarely do anymore. But for some reason, I wanted to go back and hear last week's talk, so I did. Went back and I listened. And I literally told you not to come back. That's why you're at home, right? You're just, well, maybe I'm not going to come. I literally said, what did I say? You're not going to change your life one Sunday a week. So why bother? Why the heck bother? Why bother? Why bother? Why show up? I said it. Do you remember I said it? I said it, and what did I say just a couple minutes after that? I said that the first day I walked into the Center for Positive Living, it changed my life. I'm a little confused, I guess. So, thank you for half of you showing back up, because you were confused too. Well, I'll check it out one more Sunday and see if she really means we should come, or forget about it. I'm hopeless and nothing's going to ever change for me. I don't know. Oy, oy, oy. Did anybody think that? Did anybody hear that come out of my mouth? You did? Intuitive, insightful. Holy cow. Well, I'm sorry. So my life did change that day. That day I was inspired, and maybe it was Matthew's music, or maybe it was Amy making you laugh, or maybe it's something I said, or maybe it's being next to each other. Maybe it's seeing each other. I don't know, but please come back next week, right? So ministers are, we're regular people. We're regular people. And regular people, I'm a regular person. And I make mistakes, right? I make mistakes. The difference is, my growth is public. My failures, when I don't get it right, when I forget, all that's very public, right? I mean, it's friggin' recorded, It's out there forever and ever and ever, amen. So last week I talked about basically that we got to work a program, that this is a program, right? And it's going to take effort. It's not easy. It takes your effort. It takes, oh boy, did I throw the words at you. It takes discipline. It takes responsibility. Do you remember? Maybe that's why some people aren't here today. Maybe that was it, because they're like, oh God, I'm not going to do all that. But I talked about that we're trained. Remember at the very end, I threw in that Don Miguel Ruiz. Domestication. We've been domesticated. Remember? And I equated it to how we train elephants, the big animal, to stand on the little box, or we train, can train fleas not to jump out of the jar because they get tired of hitting their head. And so what I was trying to say was, good news is you don't have to be like that, right? You don't have to be like that. We are domesticated. We're trained by the people in our formative years. We're trained. And it's not necessarily who we want to be when we become an adult, right? Not necessarily. So we can make a change. So does that mean that we're going to change everything we don't like? Home? What do you think? Does it mean we'll never be disappointed again? Okay, so here's my answers. Does it mean we're going to change everything we don't like? Well, I could say it's a hard no, but maybe it's your choice. And are you going to change everything that disappoints you? That's definitely your choice, right? So here's the thing. We're surrounded by, we're immersed in, we're filled with, we're brought here by this infinite intelligence, this unconditioned love. There's abundance of everything everywhere. Remember last week I said it's a distribution problem. When people, it's a distribution problem. It's not a lack. It's not scarcity. That's not a thing. It's not a real thing. It's not a quality of God. It's not a universal given. It's not truth. Right. So we're surrounded by, immersed in, filled with, made of. There's this natural flow of good. It's just here. It's all here. It's always here. That's a forever and ever amen. It's always here. And dang it, we don't always receive it. Don't always receive it. That's it. This universe is so creative, so intelligent. There's wisdom in us right now. Like the answer to every question we have is in us right now. And Emerson said, we got to get our bloated nothingness out of the way. Yeah? Get ourselves out of the way. Get ourselves out of the way. This week, you know what? I'm not going to lie. For weeks now, I've been recognizing that I needed to get myself out of the way. So the other day, there's a song that I really love. There's two songs I really love. And the first one is Daniel Nahmod, Water. I want to be like water. Coming down the mountain in the shadowy canyon, flowing from pool to stream. I want to be like water, heading uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Yeah. And then right after that, I had to listen to I Am Gentle with Myself, Karen Drugger. I'll be gentle with myself as I'm recognizing all the ways that I'm resisting, all the things that I need to accept. I'm not always there. I cling to some ideas. There's some things I want them to be exactly the way I want them to be, and if they're not, there's something wrong with you or the universe or my husband or whatever it happens to be. Yeah? Do you relate? This is just me? It's just me. It's just me. You know, I want you to ask yourself these questions. How is God, whatever word you want to use, source energy, creative energy, intelligence, life, moving through you? How is it moving through you? How is it moving through your current experiences? Is it moving? Maybe I should have started with that question. Is it moving or is it stuck? How does energy move through your body? Do you know? You have the ability to know. You have the ability to feel it, to tap into that. How is it moving? Is there discord? Is there harmony? Feel it? Can you be aware of it? Is there anger? Is there joy? Is there trust? That's a biggie. Is there distrust, skepticism, doubt? Is there acceptance, resistance, or repulsion? Feel that. Think about it. I've been doing that. And again, kindness is required. Be gentle with yourself. It's not always pretty to see how we're creating more what we don't want because we will not let go. It's not fun. It's not fun to recognize that stuff, you know? Science mind is a spiritual psychology, right? It's metaphysics. And in science mind and in spiritual psychology and in metaphysics, we learn about the relationship of the macro to the micro and the micro to the macro. Do we not? Yeah. The visible to the invisible, the seen and the unseen, the objective and the subjective, the disconnected and the connected, the unconscious and the conscious. What we call positive and negative. Yeah. Open, fluid, accepting, resistant, stagnant, stuck. There's only one mind, it's one consciousness, and look how we end up using it. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Have you ever sat next to a stream? You know, not a stream, but like a fountainhead, what's it called? Where it comes out of the mountain and... Yeah, but where it really comes out and then it falls. Geyser. Oh, golly. Have you ever done that? If you haven't, imagine it or go YouTube it. I have in Colorado. And, oh, my God, that was such a powerful example and feeling of that which is always here, always flowing, always available. Wow. In class, I'm teaching the second term of the Advanced Consciousness Studies right now, right, which used to be called Prac 1. This past week, we had a lesson on observation and evaluation, aka judgment. That part of us that wants to say, I don't like it, I don't want it, it needs to go away. You know, that part of us that resists everything, right? Instead of just observation. I invite you to play with that this week. It's a really powerful, powerful thing to do. You know? Say somebody's talking to you and their face is red, or you see them afar and their face is red and they're like this. And you assume, oh my God, they're angry. They're probably angry at me. There's a million things that could be, right? Right. When I worked with kids, I used to have this really beautiful picture of a little girl, probably 6 or 7 years old. And she had a scarf over her head, so you just were seeing her face. And I would ask the kids to tell me what emotion she was having. Ran the gamut, you know, because we don't know. But boy, we're really quick to assign, aren't we? Really quick to judge, really quick to evaluate. What we teach is that this flow, this presence, which is always here, it needs to pass through us. It needs to pass through our consciousness, right? It needs to pass through our consciousness in order to work for us. And if we're blocking it and saying, I don't want this diagnosis, I don't want this level of cholesterol, I don't want whatever, that level in my bank account, whatever it is, law's working at that level for you, right? Oh yeah, but I think Elaine said it last week. What you get is more resistance, right? You get more frustration. You get more of that. What if you could be totally unattached to external things, people, situations, whatever that rock or boulder is in front of you, that when I sat in Estes Park and watched that It didn't matter what was there. That was going to happen anyway. What if we were like that? I know I've stood up here and done the windsock before. What if we were like that, though? What if we really allowed life to move and move us? And there's so many books. You don't have to take my word for it. There's so much evidence that the diagnosis or the divorce or that death or this opened a door that you didn't know existed. You didn't even think it was possible. You didn't ever contemplate it. What if? What if? What if? What if, right? What if, and I know this is true, inner peace is right there the moment you let go. The moment you say, I'm not attaching value to this. Right now, I'm okay. You know what the difference between a diagnosis and a prognosis is, right? Right. Diagnosis, this is what they've just said. Prognosis is what's going to happen in the future. We don't know that. We don't know that. And so here's the thing that's really interesting here is that when we recognize, and it always starts with our awareness, right? When we recognize that we can surrender and that it doesn't prevent us from continuing to make a change or improve our diet or whatever, right? Whatever the issue is, when we recognize that, there's such freedom. There's such freedom when we let go of that attachment. Eckhart Tolle says, through surrender, spiritual energy comes into the world. Through surrender, spiritual energy comes into the world. Now, tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. The day after that's Ernest Holmes' birthday, by the way. But it's also inauguration tomorrow, right? So I remember that day I asked you to write down on the card how you were feeling. There was a myriad of emotions in the room, weren't there? There was excitement and there was devastation. There was a myriad of feelings in the room. So I want to recognize that again. And then I'd like to read this. Eckhart Tolle calls this kind of surrender the acceptance of what is. The acceptance of what is, again, doesn't stop us from making a plan, and that might even be the first step, make a plan. But he calls it surrendered action. That's good, isn't it? Surrendered action. Think about that in your life. Surrendered action. That surrendered action could be something like asking yourself, what could I do? What would be possible if I did this? What might happen? Just to ask yourself some questions, right? That's surrendered action. So he says, through surrender, spiritual energy comes into the world. It creates no suffering for yourself, for other humans, or any other life form on the planet. Unlike mind energy, it does not pollute the earth. Now, when he's talking mind energy, he's not capitalizing mind. He's not calling it, spirit, God, creative intelligence, as I do. He's talking about the chatter. He's talking about the ego. He's talking about that thing won't let go in us. That's what he's talking about. So let me go back. It creates no suffering for yourself or for other humans or any other life form on the planet. Unlike mind energy, it does not pollute the earth, and it is not subject to the law of polarities. Right, wrong, good, bad. Which dictates that nothing can exist without its opposite, that there can be no good without bad. Those who run on mind energy, that's not us. Those that run on mind energy, which is still the vast majority of the Earth's population, remain unaware of the existence of spiritual energy. It belongs to a different order of reality, and it will create a different world. I want you to listen to this. It will create a different world when a significant number of humans enter the surrendered state and so become totally free of negativity. If the earth is to survive, this will be the energy of those who inhabit it. So if you find yourself in some situation in life that appears undesirable, is something less than what you want right now. First is awareness. Become aware that you're feeling that way. Become aware that that's been a choice in your mind and that you're free to make a new choice, to surrender, to let go, to accept what is. So that surrender is second. First is awareness. Second is surrender. Be present with that and be in that surrendered action, which requires stillness, listening, observation, inquiry. There's freedom on the other side of that, no matter what it is, no matter what you're dealing with. Because it opens us to that divine presence that we're immersed in all the time. That is good. That is love. That is supportive. And so it is.
Another shout out. I don't see Truman Adams here today. I don't think so. He's probably watching. We were talking the other day, and he said, "Do you listen to Hozier?" He's an Irish artist, and he's a newer guy that's been out for like 5 years, and he's a really good musician and kind of a Celtic, soulful kind of dude that writes, I think, very spiritual music. And there's a song by him called "Movement." I wish I wrote it. I think it's good for today. It's just a good jam, and it has a great music video on YouTube of this modern ballet dancer called Les Palunin, and he's this gorgeous man from one of those Eastern European countries with all these like tattoos all over him, but he is just dancing this free dance to this song here, and I don't think that's the official video, but it's so good, you have to watch that. But check this song out, it's called "Movement," and to me it's like the movement of the spirit. That's what I think the writer's talking about. Still watch you when you're grooving, as if through water from the bottom of a pool. You're moving without moving, and when you move, I'm moved. You are the call to motion. There, all of you a verb in perfect view, like Jonah on the ocean. And when you move, I move When you move, I could never define all that you are to me. So move me, baby, shake like the bough of a willow tree. You do it naturally. Move, move, move me, baby. You are the rite of movement. It's reason it made lucid and cool. I know it's no improvement, but when you move, I'm moved. You're less balloon and leaping, or Fred Astaire in sequence. Honey, you're Atlas in his sleeping. When you move, I move. When you move, I can recall something that's gone from me. When you move, honey, I'm put to awe, something so flawed and free. So move me, baby, shake like the bough of a willow tree. You do it naturally. Move me, move me, move me. So move me, baby, like there's nothing left to choose and nothing left to lose. Move, move, move me.
Thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Reverend Theresa, for a wonderful lesson today in flow and movement. And now we have an opportunity to participate in another kind of flow, another kind of energy movement, and that is the law of circulation, the law of giving and receiving. This is an opportunity to give back to support what you receive here at the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. And if you're joining us online, there's information scrolling now about how to do that virtually. So as we pass the basket here, I just invite you to know that this gift that you give is participating in a divine flow and that it is an energy that goes forth to do good in the world, to create a world that works for everyone, starting in Sarasota and moving out into the world. And we know that this is good and very good, and we are all blessed by it, and so it is. And now Bobby's going to lead us in our offering affirmation.
Thank you, Kathleen. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
Thank you so much for your support. I have a few announcements. If you are joining us today for the first time, we are so blessed and honored that you would choose to spend some time getting to know us, and we look forward to getting to know you. We have a gift for you. If you would meet one of our greeters as you leave today, you will be gifted with a past copy of the Science of Mind magazine, and in it you'll see daily affirmations and readings of inspiration. There's also essays and articles by some great leaders in today's New Thought movement. So please accept that with our gratitude, and we hope to see you again here at the center. And please be sure to stop by and introduce yourself to Reverend Theresa. She would like to get to know you and welcome you personally. Tomorrow, Reverend Theresa mentioned that is a big day. There is something to help us commemorate and recognize that big day, and it is a pop-up concert with David Roth. There are flyers that look like this over on the table as you leave today. Please do pick one up. David is a wonderful, masterful musician, songwriter, inspirational thought leader. And this is a concert that's sponsored by our center, the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, as well as the Sarasota Center for Light. And the concert will be there tomorrow evening at the Sarasota Center for Light at 852 South Tuttle Avenue. As I mentioned, it's a pop-up concert honoring Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. There will be music and time to reflect on his beautiful legacy. And it's offered on a love offering basis. No tickets to buy, nothing to do except show up and participate in this beautiful event. I don't see a time on here, so 7 p.m., thank you, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, the Sarasota Center for Light, 852 South Tuttle Avenue. Hope to see you there. Where is Eileen? Eileen Patty is our beautiful soul who does so much for us every Sunday. She has taken over the role from Rebecca Hale to host our Sunday gathering here, where we get a chance to gather over some light bites and some coffee and tea and get to know each other in community. This is a sacred service opportunity. Eileen could use some help. And so I'm just asking you to look into your heart and see if there's an hour or so that you could lend once a month to supporting her in that. Or perhaps some food that you might be willing to bring in, either stop and pick up on the way, or perhaps bring something from your home kitchen that you delight in making and sharing with others. Eileen is such a light for our center, and I know that as she carries on her legacy that was brought to us by Rebecca Hale, that she would really appreciate your support. So please see Eileen. There's also in the the weekly newsletter, there's information about how to message Eileen and participate in this. And there's also a sign-up sheet on the table. There's another opportunity for sacred service coming up on February the 10th, And this is being led by Diana Wyatt. Diana is here back in the back of the room, but there's also information in the newsletter about how to reach her personally. A group is going to be going to participate in house painting for the Second Heart Homes, which is a nonprofit here that helps bring homeless people shelter in the Sarasota community. And I know that many of us have a heart for that kind of ministry. This is an opportunity to lend a little elbow grease. I asked Diana about this early. She said, they're going to be painting a home, the inside of a home, but all skill levels are required. You don't ever have to have picked up a paintbrush. They need people to help tidy up. They need people to help get things organized. All levels of skill, et cetera, are welcome. So please, if you'd like to get involved in that on February the 10th, they need about half a dozen people to make it all work out. So please see Diana or email her from the link in the newsletter. Which brings me to the newsletter. If you haven't already signed up for it, please go on our website. At the very bottom, it says sign up for our e-blast. That's the newsletter. You'll get an e-blast from us once a week that tells you what's going on here at the center. So please sign up for that. Things like the Wednesday night discussion group, the Spiritual Living Circle, which has been going gangbusters. We've had, more than a dozen people the last several weeks. So please join us for that on Wednesday evenings via Zoom at 7 o'clock. More details in the newsletter. There's also a sign-up sheet here at the center. And also on Friday evening, the Science of Mind Recovery and Codependency group that Reverend Diana has just started. She's also here in the back of the room. There's a sign-up sheet here at the center. It's also information in the newsletter. She's had a great, this just started last Friday. She's already had a great turnout. She'd love to have you there. So with that, I just thank you again so much for joining us this morning. If you have time, please join us for some community time as Eileen is putting things together over there. We always have such a wonderful spread for people to enjoy. Thank you again for joining us online, whether right now in this moment or in the future. We're so glad that you spent time with us. And so with that, I just say welcome back next week or in the coming weeks. Have a great week ahead, and thank you again, Matthew. He's going to lead us in our closing song.
Thank you. I got a fun one for you. This one, just thinking about a good song to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr., who has been my hero since I've been a very small boy. I did his speech in Washington when I was a child growing up in the country, and I did it in front of the class in his voice. And I remember, and they were like, "What in the world?" These farmers were like, "Oh boy, this guy's different." And I love Martin Luther King Jr. If you ever get a chance, read his autobiography that he wrote. It'll change your life. This song is a fun one, and I play a lot of this kind of stuff with my band. If you guys ever want to come see my band or one of my solo performances, take a picture of this. MatthewFrostBand.com is the website. But I do a lot of solo stuff tonight. I'm at St. Regis Hotel on a 7-foot grand, beautiful hotel on Longboat Key from 7 to 10. It's just this beautiful 7-footer. And then on Wednesday night, I'm at the Art Ovation Hotel on that grand piano doing my thing. So if you're ever available, it's also a 7 to 10. Come see me sometime. Again, hopefully. Good to see you all today. So I need your participation on this one. Some of you should maybe clap and sing with me. And me and Theresa were talking about Soul Train today. If anyone wants to form a train, like the locomotion kind of thing, you can form a train. Don't knock our speakers over, but you can. There's a train. I see like a circle here. So, okay, check it out. People of the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People of the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People of the world, again, man. Sing it again. People of the world, join hands. Join a love train, a love train. Say, people of the world, join hands. Join a love train, love train. Ride. Come on, let it ride. Come on, let it ride. Come on, let it ride. Everybody sing. People of the world, join hands. Join a love train, a love train. People of the world, join hands. Join a love train, a love train. People of the world, join hands. Join a love train, a love train. People of the world, join hands. Join a love train, love train. Say, people of the world, join hands. Join this love train, love train. People of the world, join hands. Start a love train, a love train. Hey, thank you. Good job, everybody. Thank you.